Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my current foundation routine. This has been my foundation routine throughout autumn and it's going to follow through into winter as well. So I'm going to start out by priming my face, and I've been using the Max Factor Facefinity All Day Primer. Typically when doing my foundation I don't tend to use primer because I have such dry skin that directly before I apply my foundation I have to put moisturiser on instead. However, during the winter I get extra super dry, and so I like to use products that will help leave my skin glowing throughout the day, and this just helps to do that. So I'm just taking a pump of this on my fingers, run it through my hands, and then I start by applying it to my cheeks first and around my nose, because this is where I get the most dry throughout the day, and then I apply it to my forehead as well. My current favourite foundation is the Maybelline Fit Me, and I'm using the shade 125. This particular foundation I've been using for quite a while, but it's one that I tend to kind of put away and then get back out again, and then fall in love with it and then put it away and get it back out again, and currently I'm absolutely loving it, particularly in this cold weather, because as I said, my skin goes really dry and this just helps to give it a really lovely glow throughout the day. So I've been using this on a Real Techniques buffing brush. Again, this is my current favourite foundation brush. I find that this brush just gives me a really good coverage whilst not looking too cakey. It's kind of, when I spoke about it in my favourites video, I think I'll link it down below, I think it was like August favourites or something like that, I said that for any of you guys who use the Real Techniques brushes, for me this brush is like a mix between the Expert Face brush and the stippling brush, which are two of my other favourite brushes, but they just do two completely different things for me and I love them both, and for me this brush just combined the best of both of those brushes, so I've been absolutely loving this brush for applying my foundation recently. When I'm applying my foundation, I just take a small amount on my finger and then put it on the area that I want to apply it to, and this is just to avoid getting too much foundation across my face, and then I'll just start buffing that out with the buffing brush. And I start on my cheeks first. I tend to put the product kind of not so close to my nose but kind of on my cheek around here, because this is where I get the most redness, so this is where I want the most concentrated product to be, and then I'll start just blending that out across my cheek, onto my ear and down my neck as well. I kind of like to use small circular motions and kind of stippling motions at the same time, if you kind of get what I mean, because I'm kind of pushing the product into my skin so that it doesn't look cakey and just looks as flawless as possible. And take that across my eye as well and down the side of my nose and kind of halfway across my chin, because then I'll do the other half of my cheek as well. And then I'm just going to do the same to the other part of my face, again putting it on my cheek where I get the most redness, and then start to buff it and blend it out. And we're going to the side of my nose and down my face, and again onto my ears and down my neck, so we don't have any lines of demarcation. And then I'll just join the two up on my chin, across the top of my mouth and under my nose as well. And then finally I do my forehead. So I kind of, when I apply my foundation, I do it in 3 steps. One cheek and one half my face and the other side, and then my forehead. And I don't tend to put as much product on my forehead because I've already brought the product on my cheeks up the sides of my temples, so I only kind of have to do the centre of my forehead and just bring it down, and make sure to get it into your hairline as well. I just like to buff it upwards and also go slightly over my eyebrows as well when I don't have too much product on my brush, so I don't have any white marks around where I put my foundation. And then I just tend to go back all over my face and blend all of the product together using circular motions. And this foundation is a kind of medium coverage foundation. I don't like to go too full or too light. I quite like to go medium and then build it if I want to. So as you can see, you can still see some of my redness coming through on my cheeks. So what I'll do is I'll just apply a small amount to the back of my hand, dip it into the brush, and then stipple it just onto those areas. I use a really tiny bit extra just to stipple it across my cheeks, just to cover that redness just a little bit more. Next, for concealer, I use the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer, and I am in the shade Warm Medium 3. As you can see, all the writing has rubbed off mine. And then I just take this, I start by applying it into the inner corner of my eye because I get quite a lot of darkness and discoloration in there. So I like to cover that, and then I take it under my eye, small sweeping motion, and then I place a tiny bit just on my eyelid because I find that this concealer goes a really long way. And then I just start to blend this in from the outside, working in, just with my middle finger, and blend that down as well, so I kind of get a triangle shape without applying too much product at the same time. Just lightly tapping this quite quickly with my finger, moving backwards and forwards under my eye, and bringing it down the side of my nose as well. Again, just to create that triangle shape to highlight and conceal at the same time under my eyes. And then bring that along the inner corner, up the side of the nose, and then across my eyelid to conceal any veins and discoloration as well. I've been wanting to try this concealer for a while after seeing so many people use it and say how good it was, but to be quite honest, it's not actually my favourite concealer. It's not bad, it's very good, but I just prefer other concealers more. Like, I really love the Rimmel Wake Me Up concealer. That is absolutely fabulous. I just think the colour of it is far better for my skin tone, but unfortunately I've run out of that at the minute, so this collection one will do. And then after I've blended that out with my fingertips, just to make sure it's completely blended, I'll then go in with the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush and just push that across where I placed the concealer, just to ensure it's completely blended out, particularly in that inner corner. Because for me, that is where my concealer tends to build up and cake up. So I just want to make sure that it's all completely blended out under my eye. And then to just balance out that highlight, I put a small amount on my chin, just around my nose to get rid of any redness there, and then just slightly onto my forehead as well. And then I'll blend this out with my foundation brush. And what this does is it just balances out that highlight across the face, because if you just have highlight under the eyes, it can look quite odd and artificial, whereas if you then put it across other areas of the face to balance it out, just like you do when you bronze, don't just do your cheeks and you kind of do it around the sides of your face. It just makes everything look a lot more natural and balanced. Finally, to finish off my foundation, I'm just going to set some areas of my face with powder, and I'm going to use the Collection Sheer Loose Powder in Translucent. I'm just taking this on an angled brush, tapping in the product, tapping off the excess, and then setting in the under eye concealer so it doesn't move throughout the day, on across my eye as well. I only tend to set my foundation and concealer under my eye because, as I said earlier, I've got very dry skin, so I don't need to set the rest of my face. I do tend to just set my eyes and then also just slightly down my nose as well, because that is where my foundation does tend to break up quite a lot during the day. So setting that in place with this translucent powder just helps to stop it breaking up. And then I'm also just going to tap a small amount of that on that chin where we put that highlighter, and just through the centre of the forehead ever so lightly as well, just to set that highlight in place. And that is my completed foundation routine, and I'm just going to go and finish off the rest of my makeup. And here's the rest of my makeup. I'll link all the products that I used in the description box below in case any of you guys want to know what else I'm wearing. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed my current foundation routine, and of course please subscribe to my channel as well. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!